Hi everyone, it's the 8th of July and I thought I'd just give you an update on how my plot is looking. So as you can see, I have a pumpkin that's growing along the side of the trough, and when that's big enough I'm going to try to grow it over the shed. The plants in the trough are doing well, and I now have a pergola which I built myself, which I'm really proud of, and there are two grapevines that are hopefully going to grow up and over this quite soon. Over here we've got the flower garden and the most beautiful rose bush, which produced a first set of lovely roses, and looks like we're getting more. I've just harvested some carrots from in here, and there's some runner beans that's starting to grow up the fence. I've got some cucumbers growing up this trellis, and also some squash behind there. I have some tomatoes. They're actually black tomatoes, which is really interesting. And another one here. I think I've got 17 tomato bushes in the allotment in total. This bed now is going over a little bit, but still have some chard in there, some beetroot. I've got a little tomato seedling coming along there. And yeah, you can see also there's an umbrella because it's so boiling hot here at the moment in the UK. We've got a heat wave going on. You can see the pergola a little bit better. I'm hoping the grapes are going to hang through that trellis, and then I'm going to put a waterproof roof on the top of that. So that's still a work in progress. My corn is doing well, and I have a little one just coming through there as well, which is really nice. An apple tree, some apples on it, and I have a loganberry bush which is doing well. And as you can see here, the squash is going crazy. I've got one there. I've got some melon growing up. Supports here. I've got a courgette, butternut, watermelon, pumpkin, more pumpkin here, and then behind this trellis I've got more squash growing, as well as figs and rhubarb. The rhubarb here is doing really well, and in this bed I now have, in place of the garlic, I've got runner beans and normal beans growing up this trellis. I've got tomatoes, beetroot, spring onions, chard, more tomatoes, so quite a lot going on in there now. I've got, as you can see, more tomatoes, and they're a weird shape, so it'll be interesting to see how those turn out. There's tomatoes all along here. You can see they're starting to grow quite nicely, which is great. I've got some cabbage in here. I'm quite proud of that cabbage actually. It's growing quite large, which is lovely. I have a rose bush in there which I brought from home, which is doing much better here. And this is another black tomato bush, not doing too well at the moment, but hopefully it starts to improve. I cleared the broad beans from here, added another unusual spinach plant, so we'll see how that goes. There's another, there's tomatoes over there, so nice. Every time I come to the allotment I see more tomatoes springing up, which is lovely. There's the spinach there again. It's got such beautiful leaves on it. And as you can see, my little space to sit and relax. So nice to sit there. This rhubarb is just going mad, which is great as well. As you can see now, I've got a pumpkin growing in the compost and it's absolutely going everywhere, which is lovely. It's right in there. There's a few starting to grow. In there you can see there's one that's starting. There's another pumpkin bush in there, and my teepee is finally taking shape with the runner beans growing, sweet peas and peas all around. It's another view of the lovely rhubarb, the social area. As you can see, the raspberries are taking off. There's another courgette there, tomato, and some more runner beans. Carrots did quite well in here, and there's another load coming through. Potatoes ready to be harvested in those 2 bags. I've harvested quite a few already. Courgettes doing well. We got squash growing up this arch eventually now, and there's actually a squash growing on there. I think it's a sweet dumpling, but we'll see once it's grown a little bit more. This one's starting to grow up the arch. We've got cabbages in here growing nicely. Coriander bolted. I think it needs to be wet constantly, but the spinach seems to be doing well in that corner, which is great. I've got a gem squash growing up this vine, and you can see again there's a gem squash growing there, which I'm really excited about. These beds are full of beetroot. There's dill growing as well. There's a purple sprouting broccoli there. We've got some blackberries growing, and this blackberry bush is starting to take off as well. Courgettes over here, and then we have the squashes all along. I have a perennial cabbage there. Sweet peas looking beautiful, and also the peas on the side looking lovely. I've got cabbage in here. I have dahlias. There's squash on the other side, tomatoes, loads of things growing in here. Lots of squash, an apple tree, some beans, calendula, marigolds, some kale, some winter spinach, I think it's spinach as well. There's some runner beans growing up the side there. We're doing quite well. There's a patty pan that's starting to take off. There's squash on the other side of this arch here. The plum tree is doing well. I've also planted another pear tree, but it's been smothered by the sweet peas at the moment. So everything is really doing nice in this beautiful weather. And I'm really happy with how everything's turning out for my first season of growing. This is such a beautiful place to sit, and I spend many hours sitting here planning my next move, also just relaxing, and it's such a lovely peaceful space.